Hello and welcome to TBI Talk. Today is February 22nd, 2026. My name is Lynn. I am a severe traumatic brain injury survivor. My TBI occurred when I was run over by a Ford Mustang on July 3rd here in Fort Lauderdale at the beach, February 3rd, 2020. So I am at my 5-year healing mark for my severe traumatic brain injury, and I am really grateful to be here to talk with you about it on TBI Talk. And sometimes you just need to line up for like a special sippy of coffee. So there's a couple of different things I wanted to talk to you about today as a severe traumatic brain injury survivor and a crazy dog lady. I actually have my dogs all set up in their different areas. Berlin is here to my right. I have a guest dog named Raven. Hi, baby. Raven is staying with us while her mom is in Ohio at her boyfriend's house. And here's Raven. Come on. Come on. So this is Raven. She's a nice girl. She's a really nice girl. And she needs to get out of the way so we can talk about, brain injury. The important topic. So yes, I am a severe traumatic brain injury survivor. I was in a coma for a couple of weeks, and I was in 3 different hospitals, all types of different healing. All right. We gotta actually help Raven figure out where she wants to sit. You sit? One moment. Honey, you're in my camera. You're in my... Berlin, I'm sorry. I know, I had to throw her out because she was not giving me room to TBI talk. And Berlin assisted getting her out. Berlin, come here. I'm going to actually move Berlin over to me because I'm a selfish dog mom. And I want my baby on my lap. So yes, that was an awful lot of nonsense to get through. If you're still here, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yes, as a 5-year plus severe traumatic brain injury survivor, I have been reflecting on the various things and the struggles that TBI survivors go through regularly. And I actually had an occurrence the other day with my cognitive behavioral therapist. Her name is Amber. And one of the activities that we do in cognitive behavioral therapy, because CBT is really important for a traumatic brain injury survivor, cognitive behavioral therapy is important. When I have my sessions with Amber, she emails me the worksheets that we'll work on together during the session, and she sends me homework. One of the activities that we started doing in CBT is she will show me a paragraph of relevant and interesting information. For example, I've read paragraphs about meditation. I've read paragraphs about magnesium as a supplement. I've read about various, I can't remember any of them because CBT is like something that TBI survivors really need. But one of the activities is she gives me a really quick paragraph to read and process and store the information, and then share with her the subject and the interesting details in that paragraph. So it's our little reading and it's our little paragraph report activity where we talk about the things that she has me read about. So when I was looking at the emails that I got from her, including the worksheets we'd work on in the session and the paragraphs that she would have me read in our session, I mentioned to her in our last CBT session that I had already seen and read the paragraphs that were for our activity, our therapy session that day. And she was impressed. And she shared that she was really proud to know that I had done that, because TBI survivors don't generally like to upset the norm. We don't like to create struggle where there isn't currently struggle. So for me, acknowledging to Amber that I received them, that I had pre-read the little paragraphs, and that was something I would probably do going forward, she shared that that was something she had never had with a TBI survivor and CBT, that they never took the incoming information that way. And she shared that it's unusual for CBT survivors, not CBT, TBI survivors. It's unusual for TBI survivors to, on their own volition, change the way they process and provide participation in activities. So that was something very thought-provoking that Amber shared with me, and it did make very good sense. It made very good sense. There are times, there's one instance that I shared with Amber about why I don't love surprises. When my mom was here in Florida before she had her stroke, she was, fully functional adult, and she was able to take me places that I needed to go. I needed to stop at a store, a Target, and do some shopping, and she said that she would take me. She took me to a different Target. Now, I know that before my TBI, that would be no big deal. But I remember when we pulled in the parking lot, I shared with my mom that I was anxious that she had taken me to a different Target, and she was surprised but grateful I shared that with her. And this moment was so special, and it stayed with me after all this time. I was really unhappy, really anxious that I was at a new Target, because I knew what I needed was at my Target. But, and I shared that with Amber, that I remembered when my mom would take me to a different Target for my needs, and that made me very, very anxious. We don't love surprises, and we're not a big fan of, hey, just in case, just FYI, this crazy big information is here happening to you now. That's not stuff that TBI survivors generally invite into their day and into their lives. And that has actually had me doing an awful lot of thinking and reflecting on being a TBI survivor and what the world means for us now that we've survived this traumatic brain injury. It does really make us completely different in so many different ways. Even from what Target we go to being a cause of anxiety, or sharing that I was getting the information before I needed to process it, and that I would be willing to process it early. That is something very, very new. Something I've been really struggling with this weekend, or actually these last few weeks, is something I don't really actually remember how I came across the term or the concept, but I'm grateful that I did. I'm talking about cognitive shoot decay, because exhaustion, there it is. Cognitive exhaustion, neural exhaustion. And I have been struggling with that these last few days. And there's just been a lot happening in my life. I'm dog sitting, obviously, on River.com, and that takes a certain amount of mental commitment and energy. I'm dealing with my mom recovering from her stroke. That takes an awful lot of mental energy and commitment and contribution. I am also dealing with, yesterday was my dad's birthday. And my dad, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. My dad passed away from an abdominal aortic aneurysm in 2019. And it was a beautiful moment for the family because we were all together. Before he expired, he was unconscious, but they were keeping him alive with the breathing machine and all that other good stuff. And we made the decision when we were all together, after we had all accepted, my mom called all of us girls and let us know. And now that yesterday was my dad's birthday, and my mom's recovering from a stroke. So my mom is on her own on her husband's birthday when her husband has passed away and she's a widow. My mom's all alone with her stroke on my dad's birthday. I didn't mean to get this emotional in my TBI talk, but this is also something that weighs pretty heavily. And as TBI survivors, we can experience cognitive exhaustion, neuroexhaustion, and I believe that I am. Yesterday, I was so impatient about different things that I yelled. I yelled in my house. I yelled at myself. I yelled at my dogs. I yelled because I was just so frustrated and tired. And then I laid down and took a 4-hour nap. A 4-hour nap. And I was ready for bed at 1 o'clock this morning. Well, I'm saying it like this is my usual time. You're probably like, what the hell? But yes, cognitive exhaustion, neuroexhaustion is real. And the best thing that I'm going to do for it is try to take care of myself, take care of my mental health and my cognitive health, and be gentle with myself. So yeah, those are two really significant topics. And I really welcome your feedback on anything that I share with you today. Do you have any experience with neuroexhaustion, with cognitive exhaustion? How have you dealt with it? Curiosity. Thank you so much for being here today. Again, I'm dealing with that neuroexhaustion, so that's probably why I'm not as energetic or chatty as I usually am. But that's the jam. Thanks for being here on TBI Talk. I'm really grateful, and I thank you very much for your kindness. Stay safe, stay kind, stay patient with yourself and others, and thank you for being here.